Hello, everyone. This is Ross from Retro Dream Beam. I'm an eBay seller full time. I've been doing this with my fiance Netta for more than 3 years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm about to go into what we are shipping out today for a Tuesday. But before we go into it, I was just talking about this on Sunday too. Before something happened, we were going to have the actual, once again, lowest sales day for 2025. So starting from January 1st. But then we had something happen. So I'll just jump right into it and then we'll get to that. All right. So the first thing that sold right here is a lot of 16, or I think it's 16. Yeah, 16 HeroClix. These are going to be Green Lantern figures. These are from like the starter set and some, there was like a Fast Forces. I remember actually using these back in the day. I think these are from like 2011 or 2012, which is super random. That's like when I was playing. I remember liking these figures. So when I got a bunch of HeroClix slots, I tried to make them like kind of like similar themed or similar sets, such as the star sets and the Fast Forces. Those are just like little intro sets for people to play, but you can still use the figures, all of the cards with them. This ended up going for $17.99 plus shipping. Everything's going to be plus shipping. All right, next up is going to be, there's a couple things, three things I forgot to grab that were actually here because I was listing into the bins. I'll just talk about it, but I forgot to grab them in front of me. So the first thing is going to be some Zombicide like cards and pieces. It was from an expansion called Friends and Foes. It looks like I had like some equipment cards and some zombie cards. So just like some bits and pieces. It's a zombie like game where you're picking like heroes, you're slaughtering a bunch of zombies. You'll have some like special missions and objectives. There's a bunch of stuff to this. The board game's been out for a long time, probably 2011, 2012, 2013. I think it's still popular to this day. So people want to pick up like extra cards and equipment and expansion stuff. $18.74 for that. All right, next up is going to be this Pokemon Lucario V Max right here. This is going to be probably a card that comes from Elite Trainer boxes. I get a lot of those empty Elite Trainer boxes, which is like a Pokemon little box. It's kind of like a cheaper way to get Pokemon rather than a full booster box for more than $100. Usually you can get these like $30 to $60 like mini boxes. They'll come with like sleeves, tokens to play the game, dice, booster packs, a container that hold all the cards, and a promo card. So you normally get them empty. This person probably forgot to take out some of them, or they didn't care because these normally aren't like super crazy expensive. But yeah, it has this wrapping right here, which I don't like because this wrapping can get caught on something in storage. And then if this wrapping gets caught and it gets tugged on enough, it kind of bends the corners. I don't think this adds more value to the card by having it in the sealed wrapping. People are probably going to put it in a penny sleeve or in a top loader or in their binder, or they're going to get it graded, and then you don't need this package anymore. This ended up going for $7.49. I had another one, so I already relisted it. Or one last one. I had like 5 or 6 of these. I think we've talked about this on the channel before. Next up, which I forgot, which is in like a bin in the other room, I had another list, a bunch of these free like Dr. Seuss like shirts that we got. This one is Horton Hears a Who. It's like a medium gray shirt, so probably for like a kid or maybe like a smaller adult. I have like small clothing just because like I have a smaller frame, so I have to. It's like hard for me to find certain shirts that fit me. But that's besides the point. I like Horton Hears a Who. I think that's the one where he said, I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. An elephant is faithful 100% or something like that. All right, I'm moving along. That was $8.99 for shirts. It's cool to sell clothes because we don't sell clothes often. All right, next up is going to, but Anetta did the work for that, so I can't list and sell them. When I list them, they don't sell. Next up is I Drank What? This is going to be a party game, board game. I mean, board games are weird where board gamers kind of call anything that's just like not classic poker cards is just kind of like a board game, but this is gonna be like a party card game. It's incomplete. It's probably missing a couple cards. If you've played these party games before, most people are going to think of Apples to Apples or Cards Against Humanity. You don't really need all of the cards. So yeah, this is just going to be a drinking game for some people to play. $15 for that. I like to pick up the ones that I haven't heard of before. The party games are never super expensive. They do sell and people do play them. So they're not like my cup of tea. So it's hard for me to like look at them like, oh yeah, someone will buy it, but just not me. All right, but I'm not the one who's listing for myself, if that makes sense. I'm not listing to sell to me. Next up is going to be a lot of 100 of these Dark Age Feudal, was it Feudal Lords? Yeah, Feudal Lords trading card game. I forgot the history of this one. It says 1996. When I got a bunch of these at auction, I got a ton of these, and I've been selling a good amount of them. I did the research then. I think there's only like 4 or 5 sets for this, maybe less. I know Dark Age also does miniatures and role-playing games, but yeah, this is a stack of 100 for $47.99. This is kind of one of the things that's saved a little bit of the day, but that's not what I was talking about in the beginning of the intro. This is what I was talking about. Well, I guess it's off screen right now. We had a repeat buyer. This person comes in occasionally. They buy a ton of miniatures from us. This person actually sent lower offers than I would normally accept from someone else. But because I saw the name, I recognized it. This is probably, I haven't like fully looked into it. This is probably either a number 1 or number 2 buyer since we've started eBay. So they got a bunch of Napoleonics, Fantastic miniatures. You've seen me go through a bunch of these. I listed 99 or like 95% of them. It was weird because Netta's like, she saw a little bit more in a box and she's like, oh, you should finish listing these. Someone's going to want them. I was like, well, I already listed like 300. I kind of wanted to move on to something else because none of them sold yet. And then the next day, this person bought 34 packets of these. They did buy some other stuff. This is a Napoleonics. This is a company called Brick Dust right here. Never seen Brick Dust before. It has like this blue packaging, but the cavalry little horses look nice. People paint these up. They use them for wargaming. Maybe they make like dioramas. Like I've seen someone give me feedback before for some miniatures and they said that they look beautiful in their diorama. You never really know what people are getting these for. This is Battle Honors Napoleonics. I've had the Battle Honor stuff before, but this is the first time I sold all the Fantastin stuff. So yeah, I'm constantly, I can't show you guys like everyone, but there is 34 of these. I still have a bunch listed. I remember Annetta was like asking if this was all of them. And I was like, nope. We still probably have another like 200, 250 packets listed. This is a company Roundway. Never seen this one. Like someone even like penned in the rest of the name or something, more information. So yeah, this is made in England. That one I just thought the packaging was cool. And then these are like the last batch. So yeah, the grand total for this, which was crazy, like this is, it was $238 from like a good repeat buyer. That's really awesome. We're gonna have like no issues. They might come in and get more Fantastic miniatures maybe when I list the rest, or if there's other ones I had. That's the stuff on eBay that like you just sit there and think like wow, like how long would have that have taken me in a different job to get? Listing all these miniatures was pretty easy. Like I literally just threw on like some kind of like whatever entertainment on YouTube while listening to it while I was listing these, and that was like really chill. It took a couple of days, so I spent what like 16 hours, but I already got $238 for this, and this is the first sale of those. There's still a bunch more that I've listed, so it's just that like that. I love eBay for stuff like this. It just like blows my mind. This is the thing that changed the day from like a literally the worst day of 2025 into it was super good. I haven't even seen the full numbers, but that was way better than like what an average day would be. So that's super good. All right, next up is going to be Sparkler Wicker Park CD. Still important. I still like selling all the smaller, like little extra. I call these like the baglers or like the fry sales. This is a CD. Got a bunch of CDs. Don't know anything about this one. It does mention Wicker Park, which I believe is in Chicago. But yeah, my Chicago lore is pretty bad, even though we're in the Chicagoland area. Annetta knows way more about Chicago, but yeah, I'm such a suburban basic person. But yeah, this ended up selling for $5.99. Other than like the hobbies I'm into, the hobbies are like the weird part about what I'm into. All right, moving along, we have this 1975. This is going to be a Hot Wheel Mattel. Oh, what is this one? I'm so bad with cars too. Corvettes, Hot Wheels, pretty good, like purple. This was kind of sad though, because this was like one of the rare times where I was getting this bag and I dropped another bag, and then there was like a little, it's the rear view mirror on a different car I listed that broke off, so I'm gonna have to fix that, and I was pretty sad about it. But it's rare for me to drop something. This sold for $7.19. I was kind of rushing, so that was my bad. All right, next up, another item. I said there was 3 things I forgot to grab to show you guys. They're in the other room, but it was going to be 6 of these combat reference sheets for a vintage board game called Operational Combat Series. Never gotten this stuff before. I think the full game was really expensive, so I was like, okay, someone's going to want some of the sheets if they like spill like a drink on them, or they just want to have extra handouts. Sometimes board games will have handouts where everyone wants to look at them, and it's kind of annoying to like hand them back and forth. Those sold for $14.99 to repeat buyers. So they're probably looking at all these like board game bits and pieces, especially that's like a military wargaming one. So they're probably keeping an eye out for it. Different person bought this right here, Davco. It's going to be a little, was it Machi's C200, like a military metal plane right here. Just one little figure. This one sold for $7.42. All right, next up is going to be some Micro Machines. This is going to be the Star Wars pod, escape pod right here, and then there's 4 little miniature figures in there. Let's see which ones I have. I have, I think that's Luke's, no, Obi-Wan Kenobi, C-3PO, Darth Vader, and a Stormtrooper. So like the little Micro Machines, they do like a lot of those little cars. A lot of them can be pretty good. I've only gotten Micro Machines like a couple times. This ended up going for $14.99. I thought the Star Wars Micro Machine stuff would sell more. Like that's good for that one, but I just thought in general that they would sell for more. But I think like the regular little cars and stuff are a lot better than like the Star Wars brand. All right, next up is going to be War Machine. Last item for the day, War Machine. This is Khador. This is going to be by Privateer Press. This is going to be a Winter Guard officer and standard. So there's a little card here that has all their stats and their rules. And these are the metal miniatures. The metal ones for War Machine and Khador are the older ones. Some people prefer metal. And then usually like other people prefer the resin. The resin are usually cheaper. So that's probably why people prefer it. And then there's different painting of the metal miniatures versus the resin ones and the plastic ones. I've never painted a metal miniature, so I actually don't know the like way to paint them or like the proper way. I do have a lot of friends that are into painting miniatures where I can just ask one of them how to do it. I don't have any board games. I mostly paint for my board games when board games have miniatures, and I don't have any board games with metal miniatures. All right, this ended up selling for $14.99 to repeat buyer. This is the Khador faction. It's gonna be like the Russian faction, but they probably bought some stuff from me before. Really lucky with the repeat buyer. Really crazy with the big, I call this like a mega combo order. That was crazy. All right, so I have to ship this out. I am running low on time, slept in, listed a bunch yesterday, gonna organize and list more today. All right, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to help support us, take a look at our shop down below. Have a good one.